Welcome to part 2 of Actors Act.
Yes, the sequel.
We have some catching up to do, Georgia.
Isabel's version. Did you just get a text? Or did I?
Oh, my boyfriend texted me.
Oh my god, you don't have a boyfriend.
I do, unfortunately. I
No,
forgot.
you don't.
I didn't tell you. I know.
No, you're fired.
After my last relationship, the only way I can move on from that disastrous horror movie is with someone new.
Yes, that
I
relationship
don't know how
was
you're
crazy.
doing it.
Honestly, yeah.
I don't know how you're doing it.
I'm really good at detaching from like the emotions. Like I can be really, really invested in someone, but as soon as you've hit that limit of like I can't ever forgive, I detach so well. Like my family
when
is
somebody
shocked at how I do
somebody does you dirty, you like when the disrespect level is reached,
is exceeded. Yeah.
My thing is like I won't believe it until I have evidence. Which goes back to this story. It's like that's why I stayed so long in my last relationship, which I won't get into because I don't want to get sued.
I think we do get sued for that. Like it is really good tea, so we should tell it one day.
One day I will tell it, but I'm saying like he had told me basically this is who I am, and I had seen it, but until I saw it, it was like I couldn't.
And you were,
and like, even when I saw it,
I was like, how are you overlooking these things? These things were really diabolical. Like. Way more than I've ever tolerated.
It wasn't even like cruel. It was just crazy, and nobody would have ever put up with it. But we won't get into that. Today is about a different story.
Yes, this is about
my movie star story, which was very short-lived.
Yes.
But we're gonna get into it.
So I would love to know how you guys initially met and what your first impression was of him, because I want to know how it changed.
Well, I actually DM'd him. My mom and brother had seen a movie that he was in, and I had just gotten out of a relationship, and I came back fresh from the breakup. They were watching this movie, and they were like, this is the kind of guy that you should date. Like, he's so your type. And I was like, oh, I had never seen the movie. I'd never heard of this person before. I looked him up on Instagram. He had like 20,000 followers. You know, I had more at that time. And I just cold DM'd him, and I was like, we should hang out. He responded the next day, followed me back, said, yeah, let's get dinner on Wednesday. We got dinner, had an amazing date. He was cute, sweet, affectionate, complimentary, charming, really talented to the point where it was almost like I had dated people before that were like powerful in the like wealthy sense and like really like glamorous and powerful, but I never dated somebody who I felt was so talented in a raw way, in the way that he could like slip into accents and become other people. It was like I'd never been like dazzled by somebody before.
And I think that's so hard because that's the same kind of experience that I had with my actor guy.
Was he very glamorous? Do you think he's talented?
I think
to a point, yeah.
I mean, I'm very fascinated by actors in general. I think it's like it takes a lot of confidence. It's hard. It's a cool skill to have, and I think like, you know, doing different accents, it's very cool, and like I'm very fascinated by it. So I think that aspect is like really, it drew me in because I was like, wow, this is so cool. Like never dated an actor kind of thing. So you met him, he was really charming, glamorous, seemed like a really great guy. I want to know when that changed and what was the first red flag for you?
I guess the first red flag that I overlooked was probably just how fast it all happened. It's very rare for girls and anyone to just question that. Like, it's very rare that you meet somebody and you think that they fall in love with you and it's happening so fast for you to be like, this is happening too fast, I'm going to take a step back. It takes somebody really strong. Like when somebody's love
but it's the worst thing ever. I love being love bombed.
I love being love bombed as long as it lasts forever.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Never do.
And it never does. I guess I just was like, oh, I found this guy that's so sweet, and maybe I uncovered this like gem of a human being that's actually innocent and sweet and kind and a little bit dorky. And he asked me to be his girlfriend. It had been, I think, 10 or 11 days.
That is such a red flag. I mean, like, I'm all for, like, being like, oh, I met the person and, like, maybe this is different and it's captivating and you're like, oh, we just love each other so quick, it's meant to be. But, like, 10, 11 days.
I know,
like,
but I
don't even know his middle name at that point.
I didn't know. Actually, what is his middle name?
Yeah,
I don't think I ever even asked that question.
Because why would you?
I didn't know anything about him, but you think that you know people because you're watching their interviews and you're you're watching them on YouTube and TikTok edits of them to unreleased Lana Del Rey, and you feel like, and I think that
you're so real for that. That's really gonna pull you in.
And they're like the internet's boyfriend, and it's so weird because I think that with this type of situation, especially with actors and movie stars, you see them on screen and you might think because they're playing a certain character that that's who they are. It's like you fall in love with the character, but a lot of the times it has nothing to do with who they actually are and the type of personality that they have.
I would say as well, a lot of the times they're really good manipulators because they're really good at playing the roles that they want people to believe, right? Because they're selling. So if they're playing an aggressive role, they're really good at captivating the aggression.
Professional
if
liars.
They're playing like a romantic guy that's charming, they're really good at putting on the charm. And that is like an act. So it's really hard to see that for what it is because they are professionals. And you forget that.
And you forget that this is what they do for a living. You know, they can cry on command. They can do all these things that normal people like you and me don't know how to do. So...
And no one really talks about that.
And nobody, because nobody really dates movies. Like the normal average person is just like having a crush on Jacob Elordi or somebody, but they never get a chance at that. And, you know, we got a chance and we are here to tell the story as people who have experienced it.
You told me really early on he invited you on a trip to Paris.
Yes, he invited me to Paris. He had actually brought it up on our first date. He said, I'm going to Paris at the end of the month if you want to come with me. And I just kind of assumed that it was never going to happen because I think that in these situations it's like I had been used to men dangling promises in my face and, you know, trips that never happened and buying outfits for trips that never happened. So I just didn't take it seriously. And then he actually texted me before he had asked me to be his girlfriend. He had been staying in my house for like 3 days on end because he lived upstate with his family at that time. He didn't have a place in the city, so he would crash at mine for like 4 days in a row. And he had texted me after he had left mine being like, hey, I know we were joking about it, but I just secured the dates for Paris and I'd really love it if you came with me. Can you send me your passport? And immediately I was like, hell yeah.
And honestly, that's fun. Like, who doesn't want to go to Paris?
It's
like,
Paris.
I probably would have done the same thing.
And we hadn't been even dating officially yet, but I was like, I'm not going to say no, you know, this is such a fun experience to go to this major fashion event with this rising star and glamorous and get flown out. And it was kind of something where it was like he felt so safe to me and it felt like such a dream. And obviously I said yes, who wouldn't?
Yeah, I would have done the same thing. But
yeah,
like,
obviously,
when you look back, you're probably like, I don't really know this guy shouldn't have gone on that trip, you know? But
I'm not going to say no. Like, I would have regretted it so much if I had said no. And I'm happy I did because
I would have done it.
Yeah, and as a writer and as like a content creator, we want these experiences. You know what I mean? Like, I write about dating.
We're impulsive and we're fun and we like to have fun. So like, who doesn't go to Paris?
Who says no to Paris?
So when you went to Paris, I remember you telling me a little bit about how his assistant was super weird towards you. Like, I want you to get into that because I found that really strange.
His assistant, I call him the untalented Mr. Ripley.
Right. I love this nickname.
Ripley.
It's very thoughtful.
Ripley, yeah. Because he was basically like Tom Ripley. I mean, the guy was absolutely possessive and controlling over my guy at the time. Should we give my guy a nickname so it's easier to Ben?
Just call him Ben. I feel like Ben works because if you give
Ben,
him a chair.
He's so not a Ben, but
that's perfect then.
So Ben had an assistant who wasn't even his assistant. It was his manager's assistant's assistant. He worked for the powerhouse agency that kind of guided Ben's career. And right off the bat, he really did not like me at all. I met him for the first time pretty early on, and I texted Ben. I said, oh, like, let's get drinks. And he said, yeah, amazing. I'm so down. I'm going to bring someone who works for me, Ripley, who I've gotten close with. I said, sure, bring him along. You know, so excited to meet him. He brings him, and this is near a drinks place on the Upper East Side, right near my house. And Ripley shows up, and he's quite a bit older than Ben. He's, I think, like 35 or something. And immediately it was like he didn't only, like, kiss Ben's ass. He
was like condescending towards you? Like, what was
he
like?
Kissed Ben's ass. It was like a different level of ass kissing. It was like he lived inside his rectum and made a home there.
I feel like people like that know that that's what they need to do because these actors have such a big ego. They need to be so prioritized.
No, it was like,
so they kind of like be over coddling because they know that they need it. And
And
it's like,
who wouldn't
they want
want
to be that important person in their life. So hopefully one day they can get something out of it.
And I remember when I was like first blowing up on TikTok, I had this manager, and she was like, it feels good to have somebody in your ear 24/7 telling you how amazing you are,
Yeah.
how talented you are, how much you're going to blow up, how much money you're going to make. It's like,
I love that.
if you're a narcissist, and I'm not saying that Ben was,
I would love that.
I'm not saying it, but if you're like a narcissistic person, you want to surround yourself with people who are
yes men.
like yes men in your ear, never telling you anything other than how amazing you are, how talented you are, how cool you are, how beautiful you are. Like, it's like you want that. So that was what he did. And I remember we met at the drinks place, and Ripley was telling a story about Ben's, like something about a photo shoot or something. And I remember I like interrupted with something. I was pretty like drunk, and Ripley just turns to me and he goes, "Will you shut the up for 2 seconds?"
And what did Ben do when that happened?
Nothing. Ben did nothing. No, he didn't.
See, that I would have left.
Which is such a red flag. I know, but I didn't know him. I didn't like know him.
He's close to.
I didn't really know him well enough to like. And you know when somebody disrespects you so blatantly, like telling you to shut the fuck up, like your story too. I remember your guy told you to shut the fuck up. It's so shocking that you don't really.
You don't know how to comprehend it.
You almost just don't stand up for yourself because it's like
so
rude that you just are in a state of shock. So you just kind of let it go there. So
that's exactly how I acted. So honestly, I say I would have left, but like you don't think
you don't
like that at the time.
And I didn't know the guy. I mean, he was a complete stranger. It's like somebody homeless person on the street telling me to shut the fuck up. What do? You ignore it. Yeah. So I just ignored it, and I didn't say anything. And I mean, I thought it was so rude. So yeah, Ripley was definitely, he hated me right off the bat. He did when we would kiss. When I remember that night too, Ben and I had like kissed, or I had like leaned over and kissed him, and Ripley squirmed and said, "Ew, stop."
He was in love with him or something? Sounds like very strange.
I think that there might have been some like, I don't know if it was like attraction. I think it was obsession almost, in like a Saltburnish way.
Wow.
It was almost like he was so territorial over him. It's like, wouldn't you be happy that your friend was happy and was in love? Like, why are you cringing and recoiling like you're a 5-year-old and your parents are kissing in front of you? Like, it was so weird and infantile. Yeah.
He works for him, right? So he would be kind of threatened by you taking away from that relationship, that dynamic they have. So I see that because even when I was dating my actor, right, his team was always like, "Oh, you can't be seen with her. Like, we're gonna set you in a PR relationship,
and you're so gorgeous." It's like, why wouldn't?
Because they just don't want. But if they were to smart, have someone with more control than they have,
and their dream is for that person to be with somebody who's also in the same, world, and maybe an actress or another like famous model. Like we are internet people, we're internet girls, and we thrive off of that virality. And what nobody wants to talk about is we actually make more money than them.
Yeah, I feel like most times, I mean, unless they're like A-list celebrity actors,
but like we could be making money on a brand deal, and they're making the same amount of money on a movie that they're filming for 6 months. So it's different. And I think that there's a stigma around influencers and TikTokers in that world, but the reality is that's the world we live in.
Exactly.
And we have to start, being inclusive of our kind.
Yeah, that's a good statement. Yeah, I feel like that's true. Okay, so when you were in Paris, I know he's like attending a lot of stuff because he is who he is. Was he like claiming you publicly, inviting you places, or was he like kind of trying to hide you? Like, what was the vibe there?
Paris we were together the whole time. I mean, we had 2 separate rooms that, they gave me a room and him a room, but I would obviously sleep in his room and just like get ready in mine. And the only event was the last day, which was the show. It was a fashion show. And we just spent like 3 days exploring the city and having fun and being in love. And then the day of the show, he said, "I love you" for the first time.
Wow.
Yeah.
What? And how many days after was this?
This was like a month of dating. He said, we were lying in bed, and he said,
I've done
it was
that
right
before.
Yeah, me too. And it felt right. It did feel real.
It always feels right.
I was so happy. Like, I was like, I really did love him.
Like, I do love you.
No, I really did. And
I get that.
I think maybe because I was so like floored by him. I thought he was super talented, and I was like amazed by him. I was rooting for him. I wanted him to succeed. Yeah, we went to the show, and the show was amazing, and he was in the front row and I was a seat behind him, which is fine. I didn't care. I was happy to be there. I was making friends. I was having fun. I noticed something was kind of like off when we were at the show. He tensed up a bit. I didn't know what was that. We took some pictures together at the show, and we were in the car going to the dinner. There was this gorgeous dinner with like a perfect view of the Eiffel Tower after the show that we were invited to. It was this exclusive dinner, and on the way to the dinner in the car, he got super quiet. He said, "Do you mind if we just go home after the dinner? I'm really tired and I'm not in the mood to go to the after party."
So he was already showing some like weird like emotional fluctuations.
Yeah.
Like, my actor guy did that and it was really confusing.
Really?
So
When did he do that?
So he did that like pretty early on in, maybe like a few weeks in, and he would blame it on things like his career or stress or whatever, but I could tell it was something that I had done and he wasn't telling me. And I think it was because he didn't like me just getting attention or getting along with people. And I have a feeling that that's similar to yours.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that maybe has something to do with it because I was like, I'm such an outgoing person.
Same.
And I can just thrive in any room. Like, you put me in a room, I'll thrive. I don't care if I'm at a gas station. I'll have fun. So
that's so us, honestly.
Yeah, it's so us. And also, like, we're really confident. And I think that we underestimate, like, a lot of people don't have that confidence and it doesn't come as naturally to them. So like for him it was like he was on
and they have
and
to
when
act
and he had to act and be on at
Yeah.
these events, so it was exhausting for him.
Yes.
Whereas me, it's like
it's
that's my
natural.
normal personality. Like
You can walk in a room,
it's
make
fun
friends with
for me. So
everyone.
I was chilling with like all these really cool models and actresses and actors, and I was kind of just thriving, and I looked amazing, and I loved the outfit that they had let me wear. I got fitted with them, and I loved my outfit, and I loved my hair and my makeup, and
Glowing, naturally
I was just glowing,
radiating.
and I was so happy to be there. And so we go to the dinner, and as soon as we got to the dinner, it was like,
The vibe shifts.
oh my God, he was in such a bad mood.
You can cut that energy with a knife.
No.
Like you can feel when someone's like off.
And it was like our first fight, kind of, and it was like
and you're just in Paris. You're like, should I leave?
Paris. I'm like, dude, what the
That's
hell?
What the
I was
Paris?
like, what the hell? What the Paris? What the buongiorno? And I look at him and he's like really tense. He's not eating. He's not drinking. I'm like, can I have some of that pasta, bro?
Why are they so dramatic? Sorry, actors are
like,
so dramatic.
"Oh."
He's like,
And he kept making those noises.
my food.
You know when like people make noises because they want you to ask if
yes,
something's
like grunts.
And I was like, he was like, and I was like, what is wrong?
Like, okay, we get it. You're
He was
upset.
like, he was like huffing and puffing, and I was just like, bro, like, are you good? Are you okay?
I'm
And I
gonna
said,
cry.
are you okay? And he said, I'm just
exactly.
tired. I don't want to be here. I want to go home.
I know exactly what you're talking about. That's why because they don't want to tell you, but they want you to ask.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, are you okay? Like, do you want to go home? I can call us a car. And he's like, I'm getting paid to be here. You wouldn't understand.
Oh, so this is what I was actually going to ask you. What was the dynamic there? And did he ever put you down for your career, like to your face? Because I had this experience and it was very like, oh, I'm here, you're here. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know if that happened to you. And it sounds like it did because he was.
It did. Yeah. Well, I remember when Ripley was really mean to me one time. I just hated how aggressive he was and how much he clearly hated me. And Ben would like relay his comments like he was like a paid messenger. He would be like, Ripley thinks that you're a brat. Ripley thinks that you're using me. Ripley thinks that you don't have this, you don't have that, you're not, you want to get married to me. And I was like, he's like, Ripley thinks I should be single. And I was like, well, Ripley can suck it, one. And two, why aren't you standing up for me? He's so rude to me. I don't understand. And he said, well, I don't think he knows that we're like boyfriend and girlfriend. And this is after like he had said, I love you and everything. And I said, what are you talking about?
Insane.
Why wouldn't he know that we're together? And he said,
the guy knows when you
I think he thinks we're just like f***ing. And I was like,
no.
Why would he think that? He said, well, I didn't tell him that we were dating. And I said, why? And he said, because I don't know how to explain what you do.
First jab. That's so annoying.
I don't know how am I supposed to explain what it is you do?
Now that you've said that, I had the exact same situation with my guy and his friends. He's like, so explain to my friends what you do because like I don't even know how to explain it. And I'm like, that's so like offensive.
That's so
like
rude.
I've done so many different things.
And you've
like,
I've
been a midwife, I've been on reality TV, I've also modeled, I've done some
You're a
acting stuff. I'm like,
multi-hyphenate
why don't you just
artist.
try and explain? You know all of this. It's like, that's really rude.
But it's
You're
a way
trying
to
make
kind
it
of
out,
bring
it's like
you
embarrassing.
down. Yeah.
So that's like really upsetting because it's like, oh yeah, I haven't explained it because I don't even know what you do. Like, he's trying to make you feel really small, and
really
it works.
small. And it did work because I was like, what do I do? So that was kind of the first like thing that he had said to me. And he was just being really moody at the dinner, and I was like, do you want to leave? I'm getting paid to be here. You don't understand. I was like, we went to the spa today and we slept till 1 p.m. every day. So what do you mean you're tired? He said, you don't get it. It's not about how much we slept. Stop talking to me. I'm done talking to you. Stop talking to me. Don't look at me. Don't speak to me. And I was like,
I would have been so hurt.
I went to the bathroom. I cried to an actress. I was like, why are actors such a... She's like, they're all dicks. Don't worry.
She's like an actress. She's like,
yeah. She's like, oh, they're so mean. And I was like, I know. And then I came back and we went home, and I went to my room, and which was the floor below him. And I just called my mom, and I was like, oh, he's like so mean. Like, he's like...
It's so weird for me to hear this story knowing you, because I'm like, you're not,
and I'm not
someone
that type.
that
I don't
puts up with like this, you know, like you're such a bad bitch. You like step on men, you put them in their spot. I've gone out with you and like a guy tried to like grab my ass. I remember you
that.
Literally wiped. I was like, it's okay, Isabel. Like,
it was
it's
so
right.
inappropriate.
It was like so inappropriate.
He like lifted up your
bad.
ass. Yeah. And you were like, it's fine. Because I feel like you're like Australian too, so you like take things so lightly. You're like, it's fine. And I'm like, no, it's not okay. Like, he grabbed your ass without... That's so sad. Me too.
It's not okay. Yeah. I know. But it's like the way that you like put men in their place, and then to hear this guy like speaking to you like this, and you're just like upset, it breaks my heart. What I wanted to get to next was that you mentioned to me he started to do some weird things with social media. Like, he started to mention that girls were following him and blah, blah, blah. And that ends up leading to a bigger thing later. So I want to talk about that now. And like the fact that you didn't say anything, but it was like a very weird
I didn't say anything. I noticed the following
as girls do.
The following I was checking, and he was at first it was like industry people, like maybe like a gorgeous female photographer, maybe an actress, and I kind of assumed that he was just trying to make connections in the industry, so I didn't really confront it. And then he would say things like, I remember one time we were at a party in the city, and he said, oh, this girl won't stop messaging me. Do you know her? She has 1 million followers. Do you know her? And showed me her, and I didn't.
Such a random thing to
recognize her from, you know, just knowing influencers. But I said, you know, no, I don't really know her. And he said, oh, look at the messages she's sending me. And it was like, are you in the city? I want to hang out. And he had done a recent photo shoot with her. He said, what should I do? Should I not respond, or should I tell her that I have a girlfriend that I'm madly in love with? And I said, I just was like, I don't know. He said, no, I won't respond.
Why do you even need to ask that question? Obviously, just say you have a girlfriend.
So I had my eye out on her kind of, and I would see that he would like keep liking her photos and kind of like, I know. So it pissed me off
and
for
you
sure.
didn't say anything?
I didn't.
I would.
Because he was following so many girls, and like it became kind of increasingly more unhinged, the following.
It's for the streets.
Eventually he was following girls, and I'll get to this, that it was like my friend would call me and be like, your boyfriend just followed my girlfriend.
Stop.
And it would be like a normie person with 1,000 followers. He'd be like, why is your boyfriend following my girlfriend?
Oh, so he's trying to hide it, going for
and
the ones that you wouldn't suspect.
These are people, like, New York is such a small city. Like, I know the people you're following, and they're friends with me, so why are you doing this? But I didn't say anything. I think
you were just having a nice time, like in love.
I mean, I was just scared of like doing anything that would potentially ruin it. I don't know why I didn't say anything. I would also, like, my exercise trainer once said to me, are you dating that guy? I said, yeah. He said, well, one of my models, because he's a model trainer, he said one of my models said that she matched with him on Raya. And I didn't even question that. And it was like my friends were coming to me being like, dude, who are you and what have you done with Isabel? Why are you letting this shit slide?
So this is so out of character for you.
It's
so
so
he
out
was
of
on
character.
Raya?
He was on Raya.
Was he doing the Just for Friends thing, or was he?
No, I think he was just on Raya. Just like blatantly on Raya. Yeah.
Helly.
Whatever. He apologizes for freaking out at the dinner at Paris, and then he goes to LA for a while. And I remember he texted me being like, hey, can I post this photo of us? And it was a photo of us from the show. And I said, of course, because he had said before, don't take this the wrong way, but I'm not going to post. I don't post people. And so I was kind of shocked. I was like, oh, you're posting. I thought you didn't like post. He's like, well, you look so gorgeous. I just want to show you off to everybody.
Oh, manipulation.
I know. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to say no. And it made me feel good. I was like, this is real to him. He's like hard launching me. This is real. So I said, of course you can post me. And then he went to LA for a while, and it was Oscars weekend, and I had a photo shoot that same week. And I hadn't seen him for a while, so I texted him being like, hey, totally okay if not, but like, should I come to LA a little early to hang out with you? Because I actually am going to be there anyways, and no pressure if not. I know this is your big weekend, you know, your first Oscars. It's like a big deal, and I don't want to like intrude. He said, of course, please huge. Come. I'll invite you to this party. I'll invite you to the Vanity Fair party. Like, you can come with me to everything. I just want to show you off. I mean, I'm so in love with you that I just want to show you off. And it was so weird because he would like disappear for a day and then text.
I would fall for this so hard.
I was scheduling fittings for this Vanity Fair party, and he would like disappear for a couple days and like not answer for like a day. And then he would hit me with like I'm so in love with you. It's crazy. Which was giving kind of like guilt. And I knew that the girls that he was following were LA based. So so I was putting the pieces together, being like,
I don't know why that makes me laugh.
Why? And it was upsetting because I think, you know, he was following these girls at that time before he started really going into like the randos. Like the random sorority girls from like University of like Iowa.
I was trying to guess and I nearly got it.
But at this time he was following like really cool girls that were LA based, that were really like high fashion and cool. And I remember feeling a little bit just insecure. Because I was like, I don't feel like, I know I'm confident, but for the first time I don't feel cool in that way. You know, I don't have like the baggy look and the short haircut and the like, you know what I mean? I just didn't feel cool compared to those girls.
You know what? I had like that as well with my act. I hate to keep relating, but it's so similar.
Oh,
so I want to I want to draw the connections. But when I was seeing my guy, he literally told me to watch this TV show that he did and then asked about one of the actresses and how their performance was on it. And he kept making it so obvious. This is weird. No, because he was asking so much, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, like, she was like, good.
Did you hook up with her?
I asked, did you hook up with her? He goes, yeah, but like, that's not why I asked. He was trying to get me to be like, oh, she's amazing, and then have that for his ego. He was never going to actually tell me. He's like, oh, I ran into her on the street today. Oh, you should watch the show. How do you think she did?
Is that the girl that you told me about?
She's like,
the really famous one.
Yes. And I'm like, girl, obviously I was like, why are you trying to make me feel weird? Like, and then he would go to an event that she's at and be like, I just saw last name only, last name. And I'm like, are you trying to make me insecure? Like, she obviously doesn't want anything to do with you, otherwise you guys would be together because she's 15 times more famous than you.
And so my guy said that too.
Why are you rubbing that in my face? I could rub in your face famous people that I've hung out with, but I'm not, because like your ego's fragile.
But he figured out anyway and freaked out at you.
Yeah, because he went through my freaking phone. But anyway, they always try to make you like
no, and he would do that about like
people.
Like I remember when we were in Paris, there was all these billboards of this one specific model who's also an actress, and she's like kind of a nepo baby, really beautiful model. And he would be like, "Oh, my director really wants me to date her, but she has a boyfriend." And I would be like, so that's the reason you're not dating her? You have a girlfriend. He's like, oh, like he said, my director said that having a girlfriend is like bringing sand to the beach. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, I had that as well. And then I ended up meeting the girl that he would always talk about. And I felt like she knew that I dated him. And it was a really awkward thing. He started following her when we stopped speaking. So I was like, oh,
same with my guy. My guy started following the Billboard chick.
It's so predictable.
You're like, okay, I'm going to be on a Billboard soon. And he would even say that. He'd be like, I feel like in 5 years, you're just going to like pop out and be more famous than me somehow.
Yeah, like, good. And you are, period. That's what I am making with my mind and my prayers. They happen for us both. I'm gonna be an actress. You're gonna be anything famous. I'm gonna be even someone more. You're already famous.
I think I could be an actress too.
We should just be actresses. Get our revenge arc up. You know.
I go to LA, and we stay in separate hotels, and I see him for like 5 seconds, and then he goes off and does his own things. He goes, well, Ripley told me that you weren't invited to any of the parties, and he made sure that you're not on the list. So unfortunately, I'm out for the weekend, but go have fun and do your thing. And I was like, why would he make sure that I wasn't, like, that's so rude. He like made it his mission to make sure that I was as far from Ben as possible that entire weekend. So I said, whatever. I'm alone in my hotel room. I just smoked a joint, and I looked up like my name on Twitter because I always do that. came across this Twitter account called
Yes.
Suki Lennon, and it's a play-by-play of our entire relationship. It's like Gossip Girl. It's like she's alone in her hotel room right now. She didn't get invited to any parties, and it's this Twitter account called Suki Lennon, and the bio is, if you're reading this, it's too late. So it was very harrowing and very
like
very
Gossip Girl.
scary.
Very scary.
And I was like, what? Who is this? And it was so accurate. She was talking about Paris. She was talking about certain arguments we had had and points of tension in our relationship. And
oh yeah, show some of the tweets that these are actually really scary, because
these are real tweets.
It was like someone had to have known. That's why my suspicion is that maybe it was his assistant, because they knew the play-by-plays of like Isabel and Ben's day, and like things that Isabel was attending and things that Isabel wasn't, and where she was, her location. Like, it's actually scary. I don't know why you were so chill about it, because this is the kind
wasn't
of thing
chill
I would
about
go,
it,
like,
babe. I was
over.
spiraling. I was like shaking. I was like physically shaking.
Give me some to read.
This weekend, I just know I'll be like 2 drinks away from just spilling the tea as anonymously as possible. Don't have time for this shit for real, she writes. I love that none of this has worked and I've got no platform. Can just use his personal diary essentially. My bestie is hot AF with Rada face. He always tells her, so she doesn't need to be doing all that. I'll never understand. And I was like, what?
You do have Rada face.
Thank you.
Wait,
and then she goes, I literally am starting to find it hilarious how little his fans care if he has a GF or not. She started making me post on here and we got crickets. And then I started spam writing this stuff, the truth, and got scared they'd find it and I'd ruined everything for my girl, but nope. So I didn't see him for a couple days. He FaceTimed me from the Oscars, which was nice. But I didn't go to any of the parties. I kind of didn't see him for a couple days. So she goes, imagine flying to LA for something of that magnitude, discovering that and having to be alone on such a big day, watching everyone carry on, knowing you were meant to be there. Literally haven't been able to console her. I take back every nice thing I ever said about him. My poor friend got played so fucking hard. So I'm like reading these tweets in my hotel room. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, she's been right about everything else in our relationship. So I'm learning now about my relationship through this random person that I don't even know, who has 0 followers. It was really creepy and really weird. But I knew that I couldn't say anything to him because I just assumed that he would be freaked out about it. Mm-hmm. So I go to his hotel room.
I would have told him. It sounds like it was the assistant. Oh my God, I would have loved for him to know.
If you're watching this, it's too late.
Yeah, that's so scary. That's so Gossip Girl, but like Joe Goldberg.
Could have been Ripley, yeah. Okay, so I go to his hotel room and I say, hey, I'm insecure. Because at this point, he had been following a bunch of really random people, like a bunch of girls. And I'm like, I feel like I can't confront him about that. I can't confront him about the Suki Lennon things. And he's like, what's wrong? Like, you seem off. And I was like, well, actually, I'm just worried because you've been at all these events and you're always with these like famous models and actresses. How do I know that you're going to meet one of them and not like leave? Like, how do I know you're not just going to like want to date one of them and not me and lose interest in me? And he looked me dead in the eye and he said, that could easily happen, Isabel. I can't say it won't. In which case, I would tell you I wouldn't just cheat on you if I met somebody who I thought might be good for me, or if there's something I want to explore.
That's so opportunistic. I'm scared.
If you met somebody that might be good for you, he was very ambitious about his career. Yeah. And I operate off of like romance, whereas he operated off of like what's good for his career. Kind of, he was very strategic, whereas he was being strategic with me while I was just being genuine with him the whole time. So it sucked.
That sucks.
So after that, I'm like, I'm assuming that this is over, So I have my flop of his shoe, which I wasn't paying attention. I'm refreshing Suki Lennon's post. Suki Lennon's like, he cheated. She goes, he cheated.
Stop, and this is how you found out. Or like you're seeing this and this person's giving a play-by-play of your relationship. Half of it is accurate, and then you're probably like spiraling.
She goes, he cheated, sad face. Wasn't in the plan, stayed liking posts. Men are pigs. He's back to following random mediocre bitches in less than 48 hours. Pray for my friend and women everywhere. No one is safe. And I'm like, so did he cheat? So I go to the airport and I'm like drafting breakup text because I'm assuming that it's over, right? I mean, he just essentially told me that if he met someone that would be good for him, he would ditch me. I don't want to be in a relationship like that,
Didn't, when you asked what love meant to him, wasn't his answer really crazy?
Well, I was like, what does love mean to you? Like, what does it mean to you? And he said, because he was like, you're not my priority. And I was like, well, 2 days ago precisely we were
Oh, why is it so funny? Because I've been in this before.
2 days ago precisely we were like looking up street easy listings for our home, and now you're saying that if you meet somebody that might be good for you, you're gonna leave. So I was like, what the fucky? I said, well, what does love mean to you? And he said, well, it's just like a step above like. I said, what? Wait, what do you mean? What are you talking about? It's a step above like. He said, well, I more than like you, so I love you, I guess. Right? And I was like, no, babe, that's called lust. And you don't know what love is. And you've never been in love with somebody, so you don't know what it is. And he said, yeah, you're probably right. So after that, I just didn't know. And I was in the airport after the Oscars weekend, and I just kind of was like, well, like, clearly this is over. I'm drafting breakup text and my thing. And my friend calls me. She goes, are you still dating that guy? And I'm like, yeah, why? And she's like, well, I just checked his Instagram, and the photo he posted of you is gone.
D-hard launched
me. He removed.
That's happened to me.
He removed. That happened to you, right?
Yep, same thing, same guy, like actor vibes, you know? He had me up in a little swipey, removed me. And I was like,
I was in
what?
the swipe.
Good.
I got demoted.
And
no shit. He was like following all these bitches. They were probably like, dude, you just posted a girl a week ago. What's good? Are you single? So I understand why he de-hard launched me, but he tried to make it out like, well, it was annoying. People were asking me about it. Why do you care so much about Instagram? And would like literally like gaslight me into thinking, I don't know. He was just like, why do you care so much about Instagram? And I was like, it's not about Instagram, dude. It's obvious what you're doing. It's so revealing. You post a picture of me, you delete it. You're following all these girls, probably hanging out with a girl that you showed me with 1 million followers. Like, I know what you're doing. I'm not an idiot, you know?
Yeah.
I'm a lot of things, but I'm not a moron.
Yeah.
And then the relationship was pretty much cooked. I broke up with him.
So
After
funny.
he de-hard launched me, I broke up with him for 2 days, got back together, as I should.
That's my favorite part of the story. You go out one night.
So we go out to an influencer event. And
his favorite.
It was his fave. You know, I was just at the Oscars. I'm a movie star. Mr. Hollywood got taken to a TikTok party. Can you imagine?
He would have. The ego would have been
the ego was crazy. He was like, "Where are we?" I was like,
"I don't know any of these people."
He was like, "This is so embarrassing." I was like, "Dude, whatever." He just seemed very like wound really tight, and he just seemed like he wasn't having fun. And he was like, let's just meet my friends. And I was like, okay, let's meet your friends then. Whatever. We've been here for approximately 30 seconds, but let's go and meet your friends. So we go to a club and meet his friends, and the line outside was just like crazy. Like the line outside was insane. And I was like there was no chance of us getting in with this line. I mean, it was insane. He turns to me, he's super conspiratorial, and he's like, well, here's what we're gonna do. And I said, he said, you're gonna go up to the bouncer and say, pretend to be my assistant, and you're gonna say that my movie was just nominated for an Oscar, and that I'm a celebrity, and that my manager called yesterday and they said that I could get in. And I said, that's ridiculous. I'm not doing that. Absolutely not.
You did it.
So I proceed. I was like, fine, I'll do it.
That's so embarrassing.
I was just scared I wouldn't be able to stop laughing. So I went up to the bouncer and I said, hey, I'm Ben, whatever's assistant. And he's here and he's a huge deal and he's like blowing up right now. And the bouncer's like takes one look at him. He's like, I've never seen that man in my life. I don't know who that is, but please step to the back of the line with everybody else.
He's like, I cannot do that.
And I love New York too, because I was like, I like look at him like, we're not in Hollywood anymore, Toto. Like this stuff, it doesn't work in New York. And like his manager called yesterday. They were like, we were closed yesterday. Get the fuck to the back of the line before I kick you out. And I was like, oh, like he like doubled down. I call an Uber, we're walking away, and I like tap him. I'm like, you're not there yet. We get in the car, and I'm like chilling. He's like, how dare you? And I was like, wait, what? He's like, you didn't mention the Oscars. You're so fucking stupid. I give you simple instructions, and you're so dumb. You're such an idiot. And I'd never been so like disrespected by somebody before and like yelled at for something that like really was not in my control. And he was like saying, I'm not there yet. Who are you? Who are you?
Whoa.
Who the are you?
Ego was in overdrive.
And I was like, I'm no one, you know, like I've
done the exact same thing.
I'm literally no one.
Because you feel like you have to, because they're so worked up about it and they think it's so, you're competing, so you feel like you have to lower yourself.
I was like, dude, I'm nobody. Sad. Like, I make silly videos, I make not that much money, like, I'm nobody compared to you, so
you're everything.
But even though I'm everything, and he knew that, but I said, you know, I'm nobody. And we go back to my house. He sleeps in the guest room, I sleep in my room. I'm texting my friends like, you'll never believe
what just happened.
I'm like, dude,
I just played an assistant.
So the next day he wakes up like as if nothing had happened. He's like, I have a $25,000 credit at Prada. They're getting me a whole new wardrobe because I was just in their campaign, and I have a $25,000 credit to shop. And I said, okay, wow, amazing. So we go to the Prada store, and he's buying all these things, and it's so much fun, and I'm kind of like still bitter about last night, but I'm not saying anything about it. He goes to the store guy, and he's like, how much are we at? Like, how much do I have? Sure, I see you have 1,000 left, and looks at me. And Ben said, I'm just gonna buy more sunglasses. And so he didn't buy me anything, which is fine. I mean, I would have maybe liked maybe a pair of shoes would be nice, a perfume, a card holder,
I mean,
a gun so I can murder myself.
I mean, though, like, after the night he put you through to be like, I have this credit at Prada, like, come with me. It's kind of like he was implying without saying, I'll make it up to you kind of thing, like, come with me, I have this. It's no sweat off his back. He already has a $20,000 credit.
He was no sweat, but he didn't see me as somebody that was worthy of
a pair of glasses.
No, it would have been nice to get me a pair of sunglasses or a perfume, but also, like I think that he didn't see me as like an investment. Like, he knew that this relationship wasn't going anywhere. In my mind, I thought that if I had just been patient and kind to him, and I think this goes back to not confronting him about the following, if I had been chill enough, then maybe he would have eventually gotten used to me. And I think that's kind of like the problem that a lot of girls face, is they think that if they stay and if they put up with things, it'll change, and they'll be
go
really
back
nice
to the person they were.
They're not.
This is who
like,
they are.
This is who they are.
Yeah.
So he didn't buy me anything at Prada. I'm carrying the bags, huffing and puffing like the assistant. I'm like, I'm like walking down the Madison.
Became Mr. Ripley.
So I was
Mr.
like,
Ripley's on vacation.
Mr. Ripley is like on paid leave, and meanwhile I'm the bitch holding his bags and ordering him fucking cars.
So when did you know it was over? Like, how did it end?
We had one night where I got really drunk, and we were at dinner with Ripley, and it started to be like Ripley was doing everything with him. Like, Ripley was going to basketball games, Ripley was going to dinners, Ripley was going to parties, and I was just who he came home to at 1 a.m. So I was just kind of over it at that point. He was filming a commercial, I think it was in Spain, and he said to me, you could come to that. Like, I think you should come to that. Like, it'll be really fun. Maybe you'll come with me to that. And so we're chilling, and Ripley calls him, and Ripley's like, I can't wait for Spain. And I said, I thought I was going to Spain. And he said, you always hang on to the things that I say. I think you think that I'm one person, but I'm not that person. You need to stop, like, holding me accountable to the things that I say to you. I'm just saying things. I don't actually mean them. And I remember thinking, like, what? So is none of this real? I think what happened was I had bitched out Ripley. We had all gone to dinner, and I had bitched out Ripley. I said, you're so weird. You treat my boyfriend like he's a child star. He doesn't need a handler. And you're obsessed with my boyfriend, and I need you to essentially back off. I don't even remember what I said, but I remember it really rattled Ripley.
Let me read this part. I love it.
And so I broke up with him over text the next day. And then he called me 37 times, and I didn't answer because I was like, because your guy called you, right?
Yes, he kept calling, and I was just
There's
like,
no point
I don't
in
want to
talking
speak
like
to
it's
you.
over.
Because that's after he tried to follow you. Trying to call me, and I'm like,
so he calls me 37 times, and then he sends this.
So he says, I've been trying to find a way to end things lightly for the past few weeks. You are the one, capitals you, are the one who pushes and pulls. We had a 3-hour conversation the other night where I expressed multiple times that this is not a good relationship. And after all of that, after I expressed my feelings about it, you try sweet talking me and are begging me to hang out. I let you come over the other night because I felt bad. Could you not tell on the phone how apprehensive I was? I'm done letting you weasel yourself. Weasel's crazy. Weasel yourself in and out of this while taking no accountability. Why do you think you had to force me to tell you that I love you and miss you last night? Because I wanted this to end in capitals. The reality is, I gave you a second chance the other day and now you're retracting. Trust me, Isabel, I've mentally been done with this for a while.
Oh, right.
Maybe the worst thing you can say about me is that I'm too weak to pull
myself. No, that's not the worst thing I can say about you.
To pull myself out of a shitty situation, and I need to have more self-respect. I was never once rude to your friends or around them. That's a lie. You, on the other hand, have been extremely rude to and in front of my friends.
No, not your friends, your assistant.
The one time I yelled at you in an Uber was because I didn't get to see my friends that I promised. But to you, it's about fame. I explained to you a million times why I took a picture down. The most childish thing to get worked up over. Also, what kind of crazy person is consistently checking on the people I follow? You're a stalker.
True.
Every girl checks, by the way.
I'm a stalker.
And I flipped off a train that we missed because we were in a hurry. And I thought it was funny. And now you're accusing me of having tantrums.
Yes.
Isabel, it is beyond clear what you're doing here. You are taking things, putting them into a reality of your own in order to tell yourself that you are motivated into ending this relationship. In actual reality, you're an entitled person who thinks they deserve free bags and free trips and 24-hour attention.
True.
Your dependency is crippling, and the fact of the matter is, you liked me more than I liked you. That is where your frustration towards me is stemming from. I never thought I'd be saying this to a 26-year-old, but you have got a lot of maturing to do. I wish you well.
Okay, Gwyneth, I wish you well.
Your response.
I go, wow, you're insane. Fuck you.
Did you hear from him again? Like, what happened after this?
Yeah, he actually apologized.
Oh, wait, didn't he start dating one of the people that he was literally
he actually dated. He started
showing
He's been dating for a year, the girl that he showed me, and was like, do you know this girl with 1 million followers? Which is crazy. I mean, I honestly, I hope he's happy, and I'm not doing this like this isn't me being bitter. I'm in a new relationship. I've been in 3 relationships since we broke up. So I'm not bitter. I'm so excited to see like everything he has going on and all his projects, and we are on really good terms. But I just thought that this was a funny story because I think that similar to you, people think that dating a celebrity and an actor is like all fun and really glamorous, and in a lot of ways it is, but in other ways it can be really dark when you're playing kind of this side character in somebody else's life. And I think what George and I realized is that like we're not side characters, we're the main characters, and we don't want to date somebody who makes us feel like we're the side characters or anything less than. I think power is really important in a relationship, and the second that somebody has more power than you, clout wise, it can be really tricky. It was partly my fault. I got swept up in the moment. I probably should have seen the red flags when they were there. But I wish him the best, and I'm rooting for him, and I think he's so talented.
That was a really good story. I love it. And you know what? It has so many crossovers with my experience with dating an actor, and I think like, you know, we're both not bitter. We just wanted to tell our story.
We're not bitter at all. Like, we're so happy with our lives, and we're not interested in,
and I want them to do well.
This is me sharing my story, wishing him the best. If he's listening, I genuinely wish him the best. Moral of the story is actors act.
That's very true.
We love you guys.
We love you.
So excited for you to tune in to other episodes in our podcast. It's going to be so much fun. We have some amazing guests lined up.
We're so excited.
1738.
We love you.
Isabella. We love you. Mwah. Ciao for now.